Can I share something with you? I have some misgivings. I'm not going to lie. I'm not worried if I'm going to die out on the trail. I'm not worried about being attacked by a wild animal. I'm not that afraid. But I do have my misgivings. I mean, is this really going to be worth it? Is hiking the Pacific Crest Trail really worth it? Or am I going to be stuck out in the desert with a bunch of snakes and a bunch of dirt, far from home, uncomfortable, cold, and miserable? Because I really don't like being any of those things. Fortunately, I do have one thing stopping me from even getting close to the PCT. And that's the fact that every year before I go, I stop and I get a haircut and a shave so I don't have all of this to mess around with when I'm backpacking. So as long as I've got all of this... Son of a bitch. All right, well, it's a hot afternoon. It's a windy afternoon. It's March 16th, 17th. Hello.
Hi. On the road?
And I'm out for a little backpacking. I'm on the road. I'm on the trail. I'm at Chino Hills State Park. It's 78 degrees. It's noon. I've taken 3 steps. I'm already thirsty. Whew. Without the beard, my face looks fat. So here we go. We're gonna take Easy Street. The trail's called Easy Street. Taking Easy Street down to Telegraph Road, down to the Four Corners, down to the campgrounds. That's the plan, if you've ever been to Chino Hills. By the way, we're in the middle of quite a bloom, thanks to all the rain. And what can I tell you? It's a beautiful day, with the exception of all the heat. Oh, and by the way, I'm carrying 40 pounds on my back. Now, I know what you're saying. Ken, you're crazy. You're carrying 40 pounds on your back. Why isn't your backpack any lighter, Ken? Well, I had this idea, see? I thought, I want to know if I'm able to carry a full pack with a full complement of water. So I keep checking my shoes. They feel like they're becoming untied. That's 5+ liters of water and a couple days of food just for safety's sake. Not that I think I'll get stuck here for a couple days. But yeah, 40 pounds is just as heavy as you might think it is. And even now I am questioning the wisdom of my decision. Because I'm gonna go 6 miles with 40 pounds. And the winds are kicking up, so I'm gonna sign off for now. I'll take a few pictures as I go. It's a crazy day for a hike. Hopefully you can hear my voice. The wind's kind of crazy. I have crossed about halfway to Four Corners, which I might have said was the crossroads before. Four Corners is what it's called. In a pretty hot day with quite a bit of wind. And I took my first pretty big fall. And I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan, but I'm okay. I was descending down a hillside with where a lot of dirt had collected. So it was loose, and I stepped on it, and my foot went into the dirt sideways, and my trekking poles kind of went out akimbo in front of me. And as I started going down, the thought occurred to me that I was going whether I liked it or not. I might as well just let go and accept it. So I just kind of did a swan dive into the dirt and slid down a little ways. Picking myself up wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. But to quote somebody that I met on my first PCT trek, it's a good thing I fell now rather than somewhere else where it would have been more serious. I got that experience under my belt, and I'm beat, man. 40 pounds is really heavy. I am not going to be doing this again unless I really have to. But it's good to know that I can if I need to. By the way, I'm going to switch hands here. By the way, I've got a new gizmo, new gadget, new device to carry my water bottles. Let's hope that it serves me well. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going until I get to Four Corners, and then I'll stop and take a little break, and I'll see you there. Whew. Hi, coming back down the way I came, holding the phone in my hand. I took the wrong route. I went the wrong way, and I'm so glad I found out. So here's the skinny on that. I got to a crossroads, and it said, the road sign pointed, as it turns out, in the wrong way. It said that the other trail was the wrong trail. And then I ran into a guy hiking. He pulled out a map. He's like, oh yeah, this is the right trail. That's the wrong trail. You're cool. So I started going up this trail. And then I just heard him shouting at me, and I turned around. He's on the other side of this little ravine here, telling me that he had the wrong trail, that I'm on the wrong trail. And he saved me a lot of heartache, let me tell you, because that would have hurt after a while. So now I'm gonna go back up this way again. I'm on Sycamore, in case you're paying attention to your map of Chino Hills State Park. I'm on Sycamore. I'm supposed to be on Telegraph. And I gotta tell you, I'm fucking exhausted, and I'm going back all the way. Shit. All right, again, I'll see you at Four Corners. So, I'm here at Four Corners, snacking on some wonderful M&Ms. Hello. There are other people coming in and out of here. It's like a little way station in the middle of Chino Hills State Park. Cyclists and hikers coming together to get out of the sun. It's a warm day. I got another bottle of water going. I already finished one, but like I said, I got 5 liters on me. I can waste as much water as I want. What can I tell you about today so far? Well, I fell, I got lost. So far everything that can go wrong has been going wrong. So no surprises there. Anyway, I'll take some pictures before I get out of here. Until then, I'm gonna finish my M&Ms and maybe even take a nap. It's almost 5:30. It's a few hours later. And I think I have a story I want to share with you. So I'm in my early 20s, let's say. And my first wife and I are in the San Gorgonio Mountains. I think we were just day hiking, but we eventually did backpack in there. But we're up in the San Gorgonio Mountains, just taking a walk. It's hard to get used to seeing my face without the beard. It's weird. It's like, who is that guy? Anyway, we're up in the mountains. We're taking a walk. We come around this turn. And there's a guy with the smallest tent, the smallest footprint, the smallest camping area that I think I've ever seen. Sitting there on a rock, whittling a stick. And we talked to him a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, I'm camping in a very loud place. Anyway, so we talked to him a little bit and find out that his thing is going up into the mountains every year for a couple days and doing nothing, maybe whittling his walking stick, which is what he was whittling. I'm gonna try and make my hair look normal, but there's just no way. It's full of sweat. Anyway, so as soon as I see this guy, I make a connection and I think, that's what I want to do. That would be really cool. To just go up in the mountains for a couple days. Do nothing. Just go see the mountains for a couple days. And of course, I couldn't afford to do that. I could not afford to take the time off work. I could not afford the camping gear. I was in my early 20s. You know how that is. Anyway, but I'm telling this really well, aren't I? You'll find out why I'm speaking so slowly in a few minutes. So anyway, that really connected with me. And the reason it did is because when I was a kid, I loved going off and doing just strange things. Just going off for a couple days with some friends. Let's go here and just see what that is. And it was cool, it was great. And when I was in my early 20s and I saw this guy, I said, I'm gonna do that. I wanna do that sometime. And I could never find anybody to go camping with me. So I didn't think about doing it by myself. I didn't like the idea of going alone. And only after a few decades did I realize that I don't know any backpackers or campers. I don't know anybody who wants to do this with me. So if I was going to experience this, I had to experience it all by myself. And this table is bent. Anyway, that's what these past few years really have been about for me. Getting comfortable with day hiking alone, getting to enjoy day hiking alone. I'm not a big fan of being alone, which is odd because I'm a writer, so what do? I sit in my studio and I write all alone. I spend a lot of time alone, and I guess maybe that's why I don't want to spend my free time and my luxury time all alone. And so this process has been almost impossible one. Which brings me to today. Today's been a horrible day. Today's been really pretty fucking awful. So when I made these reservations, when I reserved this spot a week ago, hold on. The weather forecast for the week was a warming trend to the middle of the week with Santa Ana winds, going away by Thursday, cooler temperatures returning by Friday, and I would be here on Saturday. So I didn't think I had to worry about the heat. But the Santa Ana winds kept getting pushed back. The heat kept getting pushed back to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, now into Sunday. And I had already made the reservations. I had to go. So even though I knew it was going to be in the 80s out here, with Santa Ana winds blowing, carrying 40 pounds on my back, which was not the wisest decision, but I had to find out if I could do it. I didn't realize that the temperatures were going to get up into the 90s. And I didn't realize that 40 pounds is really fucking heavy. That is not pleasant. And yeah, I made it here. And yeah, my tent's set up over yonder. But I don't think I'll be eating dinner today because I got a little bit too much sun. And I've been stopping myself from throwing up for the last couple hours, just sitting here trying to get as much shade and as much electrolytes as I can push. As you can see, I'm sitting in the sun right now because even still at 5:30, there's not a whole lot of shade. This whole park is pretty exposed. I know there's a tree right behind me. I can go stand under that. Anyway, the whole point of this trip was to take one further step into backpacking. Something I still don't even know if I really like all that much, or at least didn't until earlier. Because I got here and I was really sick. I'm still feeling really sick. I got here and I thought, why the fuck am I doing this? It's it's not something a lot of people can understand as being a whole heck of a lot of fun. Getting a little heat exposure, wanting to throw up all day. So I've been pretty miserable on this hike, so I didn't film a whole lot. And having said that, I was going to do a whole presentation for you with my stove. I was going to make mashed potatoes, and I was going to show you a little trick that I kind of think I found, except there's no way I'm eating mashed potatoes. I'm going to be lucky if I can eat a Cliff Bar or half a Cliff Bar. I'll be lucky if I can take a bite out of a Cliff Bar. So I'm going to be spending my evening drinking Mios with electrolytes and hoping for the best. Now, here's another thing that makes today just so joyous. Being an elder citizen, I take blood pressure medication every night. Or at least I should say I did. I forgot my blood pressure medicine, which is not a small deal. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to leave really early to get out to get my medicine before I die. So yeah, just one fucking thing after another today. I'm hoping tomorrow's better. But there's one more thing that I wanted to show you, which I brought with me. I keep it in a Ziploc bag because it's paper. I keep all my papers in a really sturdy Ziploc bag because I'm paranoid. So, hold on, I need more water. I'm starting to want to throw up again. Also, a lot of flies. There's been a lot of rain, and now there's a lot of heat. A lot of flies. So I wanted to show you, I talked about my notebook in a previous video. And I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. Now, I can look at maps, I can look at gut hooks. My issue isn't that I need lots of information. If anything, it's just the opposite. There's too much information out there. So my issue when I hike on the PCT is that there's always something coming up, and I always have to be aware of some new thing. There's always something on the map, and I feel overwhelmed by information. So what I did is I bought a notebook, and on each page of the notebook, there's a few places in my planned travels. I say planned because I'm telling you, after today, I honestly don't know if I want to ever backpack again. And nothing against the people that do. Recently, somebody accused me of being in love with thru hiking and not wanting to actually thru hike, but just loving the idea of it. That is totally possible. I will give that person full credit. I don't know if it is, but here's the thing. This is something I wanted to do when I was younger, and I have this feeling that now that I'm older, I might have missed my opportunity because this kind of sucks, and I kind of hate it. Nothing against Chino Hills State Park. They put together a great little park here. Anyway, so if I do end up hiking the PCT, I've got plans for it in my notebook. So I wanted to show you that in the eventuality that I get up tomorrow morning and I'm feeling great and the hike is beautiful. It's entirely possible. I know that each day is different. What I don't know is how much of this bullshit I can take because I get kind of sick of it really fast. So, having said all of that, I want to show you my notebook. So, here it is, my notebook. If you notice on the cover, it says, do I make a joke about it being backwards? I'm not sure if it is, but if it is backwards, too bad. It says, you are enough. Why? Flies. Why? Because one of my big issues is self-confidence. I have a hard time believing in myself. So I think it's good to have this message right on the cover. Every time I look at it, you are enough. I am enough. Enough to be able to accomplish whatever goal I put in front of me, should I desire to do so. My hair's like so sticking up. Because I don't believe that calling it quits is such a bad thing if I decide it's not something I want in my life. And again, still haven't gotten there, but I like this notebook. I like what it has to say to me because it is a very personal message for me. So what have I put on here? Up on the screen, I'm just gonna scooch. Up on the screen, I'm putting up a few points on the PCT between Paradise Valley Cafe and Warner Springs. And what I've done in this book is I only list like a few things because I only want the big points. I want to be able to look at the page and say, this is where I'm heading. This is the intermediate point. This is the point of interest, say. That's gonna bug me. I'm very neurotic about my hair. So up here still, I've listed a few points that are in this book so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Just the main points, just the e-tickets. That's a really old reference. Anyway, and in the front of it, I've put little bits of advice, but you can see by my writing that my handwriting's horrible. But don't avoid buying my books just because of my handwriting. I type those. Anyway, so one of the bits of direction that I've given myself is stop, rest, reassess. I'm really quick to rush to judgment. I'm really quick to say I'm done and just that's it. It's happened a couple times. So this is telling me stop, rest, reassess. Don't rush to judgment. Don't quit, rest. I get tired and I get disappointed and I think, that's it, I'm done. Now, this is why I'm still here. Hold on, I need more of this. Oh. The sun's gonna come down eventually. This is why I'm still here in this campground right now. Because see, when I got here, there was a guy in the lot across from me who had found out that his spot was double booked and that he was getting booted. And I thought to myself, you know, he's got a car. He can take me out of this park. I can call Vic. I can get home. I can rest in a real bed rather than sleeping in a tent feeling like I'm going to throw up. But don't quit, rest. So I tried to take my advice, even though it would have been a great way to get out. I could have helped somebody out. I could have helped myself out. But I know that I'm really quick to do that, and I wanted to get through this trip before I make any judgments about it. But right now, if you're gonna ask me, this trip sucks. So, okay, so that's it for me for now. I just realized I've been talking for like 15 minutes. I will either see you tomorrow morning or, I don't know, whatever's next. Let's see. Ooh, there's a lot of sun. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ken on the Ground. Today, we look at my tent. Whoa! Hi. So, here's the thing. I wanted to show you how I get my my inflatable mattress up on my backpack to give me a little bit of a pillow. Somebody had asked me about that, and I thought I would look like an idiot doing it. So, as you can see, here's the inflatable mattress. There's my hand. Here's the inflatable mattress. There's my backpack. And basically, can you see it? I can't see it. So basically, the inflatable mattress goes up on top of the, goes up on top of the backpack. And my head goes up there, and I kind of have a little bit of a pillow, and that's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm not on the ground to show you this. I actually had to go back and get something on my backpack that I had already put in the tent, like an idiot. Okay, I know it's getting dark. I can't do this. I had headphones in, and it sounded weird. So I know it's getting dark, and you might not be able to see me all that well. But I'm sitting here. I might do the audio over some other video. I'm sitting here, and it's after 7 at night, and the sun's going down, and it's starting to get cold. I get cold at around 60 degrees these days. It's terrible. Old age is a bitch. Anyway, I was sitting here enjoying the view and the evening air, and I experienced something that I don't think I've ever experienced while backpacking, because I'm usually too freaked out, to be honest with you. I'm usually way too high strung. But in the last year or so, I've kind of figured out a way to get a little less high strung, if that even, anyway. And I realized something just now as I was sitting here, this feeling of great independence. Like, it's almost like the coin is starting to flip for me. I'm starting to see the other side of all this, rather than everything being a pain in the ass. That I'm just here. I don't need anybody right now. It's like this is all me. And as soon as it occurred to me, I realized that is something I hadn't even thought of before. And so I'm daring Ken to work this into the video. Hey, it's after 8. My Cliff Bar is hard as a rock. I think it's really stale. And I'm running late. I've got to meet my ride over on the other side of the park. So, come on, we got to get going. So, I'm sitting at the entrance to the campgrounds, down here on the ground with my backpack and stuff. And I'm waiting for Vicky to come pick me up. I don't count this as a complete loss because she was going to pick me up anyway. We had agreed that she would pick me up at noon. The only thing is I knew I wouldn't make it over that ridge and to the designated spot by noon. This is the problem with setting up pickups, because you gotta be flexible. So it's already pretty damn hot out here. It's 10 a.m. And I'm really hoping that we communicated correctly and that she's actually gonna come here and not somewhere else. Let's hope. Or I may be here a while. Will this affect my future backpacking, this awful, awful trip this weekend? I can't see how it wouldn't. But that doesn't mean it's entirely a bad thing. I mean, I kind of started to get it. I kind of started to get that feeling of independence, that, I don't know, that feeling like that this was just a fine place to be. There was nothing wrong with it at all. Of course, right now I'm starting to bake under the sun, which is really hot. So I figure that's about it. Unless I've left something out, I guess Ken in the studio will figure that part out. So until the next hike, I hope all of your travels are by plane or car or something sensible like that. I'll see you in the next video.
And there you have it. You've just survived another Ken LaSalle video. For more information about new releases, projects in the works, or even stuff from the archives, head on down to kenlasalle.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and all around social media, just as long as it's called Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for your support, as always. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back soon with more nonsense.